Evil. Just evil. For years, scientists haven't been able to grasp what the word evil truly means. As someone who has common knowledge of words, I thought the word evil was just another way of saying someone that has more money than you or your tax collector. But now I've come to realize that I've actually been able to attain what pure evil can be. And that is a channel that's been talked about for a few years now. Dhar Mann. These videos are so cringe and so salty that sometimes I'm not able to believe the amazing obscurity of something that should be changing and impacting lives, but not in the way that you'd think.
You have 7 followers on Instagram! And you want to be a YouTuber.
But maybe that's the secret genius of Dhar Mann, or maybe this has the potential to be the most controversial thing on YouTube. Because as we all know, there has never been a more controversial thing on YouTube than this man that has a head shaped like an almond. Dhar Mann was born on May 29, 1984. At the age of 19, he started companies that often failed within the decade. In 2012, Mann was charged for allegedly defrauding a city beautification program while operating his real estate company called Mann Edge Properties, which is literally the best company name that I've ever heard of in my entire life. Then, after that entire debacle that he later explained was expunged, he founded a little video production company called Dhar Mann Studios. And you know what? I have to hand it to him. Normally, entrepreneurs that have a resume of several failed companies would probably give up, but this guy is like that one dad going to get milk and actually coming back. At the time when Mann began publishing his videos on YouTube in 2018, his output consisted of motivational videos that later shifted focus to what seems to be morality plays. Mann was ranked number 2 on YouTube's official US Top 10 Creators of 2021 list. In the same year, Mann launched a mobile app where users can watch videos produced by his studio, which is literally just a fancy way to show all his videos that when clicked automatically go to YouTube. Now that's a quality app. Now I luckily discovered the existence of Dhar Mann when I actually stumbled upon reactions to Dhar Mann. These reactions stem from, oh my god, this is so relatable, to, oh my god, Dhar Mann is the literal epitome of, and then everyone clapped. Honestly, the main reason I'm making this video is because for the past few weeks I've been feeling very uninspired, and I personally thought I could try to find a way to feel motivated, like I can do anything, and I'll give Dhar Mann this, it really inspired me to make a video about how terrible they are.
There are no shortcuts to success. You have to do things the right way.
I disagree. There are shortcuts to success, like having rich parents, wealthy parents, parents with significant monetary means, or better yet, parents that can afford to spend a lot of money on you. And you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say that, since Dhar Mann seems like that type of YouTuber to call constructive criticism hate, just because he probably thinks his videos are like the best on the platform just because they're inspirational and woke and fundamentally the most relatable thing that is known to society. But even though his videos, to his credit, try to break stereotypes, the downside is that's while literally stereotyping the characters. Like, a lot of these videos attempt to discuss these incredibly serious topics like autism, drugs, troubled marriages, bullying, or even being discriminated as a girl gamer.
I already told you, video games aren't for girls, so forget about it.
Sorry, I'm freaking out right now.
Dhar Mann's anything a boy can do, a girl can do, if not better moral, is just so contrived. The thing is, anything a boy can do, a girl can do, is a perfect message. But of course, Dhar Mann just has to end it off with the if not better. Like, dude, if your goal is to promote gender equality, you're not exactly helping. And though that might be true in a lot of cases, it just doesn't make you come off as motivating, but more or less kind of degrading. I mean, there's a video where an evil babysitter mistreats a kid. What happens next will shock you, of course.
Hi.
I want to see a Dhar Mann video where the setup is morally ambiguous, but the lesson is still cut and dry. Like some guy has to sell drugs alongside his regular job because his grandma's insulin prices increased, but then he gets sent to jail for 20 years and the lesson is crime doesn't pay. There's another video where a girl sucks at doing TikTok dances, so her dad learns the dance for her and then gives us a whole backstory of why he did the dance.
You see, when I was waiting for you in the car, I saw how bad your friends had treated you, and it broke my heart knowing They didn't want to dance with you anymore.
But honestly, the pinnacle of Dhar Mann videos, for me anyway, is a video titled "Kid Steals Mom's Card for Roblox, Instantly Regrets It." So if you haven't watched the video or don't know the synopsis by now, a young kid named Georgie, played by a young up-and-coming actor named Aiden Mekis, and the reason I just brought up the actor's name and name only is because he has a channel that looks a little familiar, right? Nah, it might just be a coincidence. But yeah, he steals his mom's card for Roblox. Then they start begging their mom to go to the store that's designed so hilariously bad. Yeah, my favorite store has always been the general store, but I think the one that really beats it is fashion.
Hey boys, you like video games? I got a brand new PS5 for sale.
Something tells me that this is a scam.
How much? This one retails for 500, but I'll let it go for 250.
That's a steal.
It sure is.
Yeah, he seems like a trustworthy guy. So Georgie, because he doesn't have any cash, instead gives him his mom's credit card, which, even if he wasn't acting incredibly suspicious, which he obviously is not, it's still a pretty ballsy thing to do. Also, why does this guy kind of look like Macaulay Culkin?
What if he runs away?
No, I would never do that.
Well, I mean, if he says so with that sweet, cordial, gentle smile of his, fine by me.
Rocks?
Why is that the funniest thing that I've ever seen? So they start running to catch the guy in what seems to be the best editing in the market, I'll tell you that much. But also because these videos are never devoid of logic, like while they're trying to chase the car, the dude starts driving to the left side and the brothers are seemingly running in a straight direction, and then the car shows up literally at the exact same place? How the hell were they able to know the exact direction this guy was going? And then, when they're this close, they just stop.
He's getting away!
Well, whose fault is that, Georgie?
Georgie has something he wants to tell you. Right, Georgie?
I was thinking, maybe we could have spaghetti for dinner.
So everything seems to be in the clear, right? Well, that's until they have dinner.
Georgie.
I don't want to go to jail.
But you know what? This was all a test that he failed. By the way, I'm talking about the math test. Like, honestly, I'm kind of surprised about how she isn't that disappointed about it.
So, I hope you learned. What happens in the dark...
I know. Always comes to light.
And that's when Georgie starts developing trust issues and lives happily ever after. But if I'm being incredibly honest, the biggest letdown of the entire video was no Dhar Mann voiceover? I mean, in pretty much every episode I've watched, he always sounds like he just learned how to talk.
Mikey compares the final exam to all the questions on the website, and sure enough, they're all the same.
Is he reading himself a bedtime story? I mean, if this episode had a voiceover, I'd have a feeling that it would go like, Georgie's mom decides to give him fake plastic money so he could try to get something from the general store, but then takes the Monopoly money away and gives it to his poorly acted brother. As the music starts to swell as if this was all a prequel to a horror movie. What are the odds with a name like Georgie? Honestly, this video in particular has me saying only one thing.
Hi, Georgie.
If somebody told you that I wasn't gonna make that reference, somebody died. That was a new spin on the infamous line of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, and if you don't get the reference, don't worry about it. Dhar Mann, in my opinion, should honestly stop with these type of videos where he shows that there's only good and bad in the world and there's no in between. All his videos show a problem, and then in the end, the person who caused the problem gets what they deserve, like revenge or karma, but it kind of bothers me because they just make the bad person suffer in the end. And for me anyway, I don't think it's valid to keep the content in the middle, just showing one side of the story and leaving it at that. The thing about Dhar Mann videos is the fact that the solutions come to the ending of always having a sad backstory. So if you essentially don't have a troubled past, you don't have a good reason to be treated fairly. But you want to know what my biggest complaint with Dhar Mann is? It isn't the cheesy infomercial level acting. It isn't these potentially really serious great stories you can tackle that's dipped into fully fledged bland storylines, and even that's an understatement. It it isn't even the predictable endings. It's the fact that he tries so hard to self-insert himself into almost every episode. Call me a bit of a detective, but Dhar Mann does not strike me as the wholesome fellow he's trying to play off. Like, he's always getting the actors to compliment him in the story, and by the way, I have to mention the fact that he writes the scripts. So if the actors are saying, man, I love Dhar Mann, he's the bestest guy in the whole gosh darn world, then it most likely means that he wrote that in. Which, I'm sorry buddy, but that really makes you come off as, oh, how do I put this in nice terms, an egotistical, self-inflated fool.
Today we will be watching a Dhar Mann video.
Yes, I love Dhar Mann.
Only nerds and dorks watch Dhar Mann.
Oh, I remember a time in class when we were trying to learn history and instead of watching a crash course video, we ended up watching PewDiePie.
You crybaby.
So all his videos are dumb.
They're not dumb, Billy. They teach important life lessons.
So if you haven't noticed by now, Dhar Mann is literally a hero. He's idolized by every single student except the big mean bully, of course, because we all know that those things are irredeemable at best.
Because only losers with no friends watch his videos.
That's not true. I watch Dhar Mann. I love all his videos.
Then, after all the bullying and blatant promoting, we get the best build-up to a scene since Avengers Endgame.
My glasses. My glasses. I can't see.
There you go.
So you see? I can't see.
Look, again, I'm really sorry. Dhar Mann.
I guess in the Dhar Mann universe, or as I like to call it, the Dharverse. So lame. Dhar Mann pretty much owns every single aspect of the world.
You gave birth to us.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was the leader of every single country and luckily was standing in this random middle school, or I'm sorry, what was I thinking? Lincoln Middle School. Thank God it says that on the whiteboard or I would have been lost.
Thanks, Noah. I really appreciate that. And you know what? I think you're so cool. I even made you your own limited edition merch.
Oh my God, this is the best day of my life. I just got the new limited Dhar Mann merch that's no longer limited. Link in the description.
I can't believe this. I'm gonna go put this on right now.
I usually don't care about the dumb scripted subplots, but literally selling your merch as some one-time fix for bullying is one of the lowest things I can imagine. Telling stories and changing lives, more like telling stories I'm making bank.
Yeah, go Noah.
Did you just see this guy's clapping? Homie just looked like, hey guys, I can move my hands together and make a sound. That's what we humanoids do, right? I just love the casual narcissism with which man casts himself as the coolest celebrity in town, who jovially bestows his gifts upon his fans, which is such Shane Dawson energy. It's like he constructed his own poorly acted world where he's a well-received fountain of wisdom, when in reality, he's the intellectual equivalent of a self-centered child. Even Dhar Mann's community is so toxic. Like, if I say that I don't really enjoy watching Dhar Mann, suddenly you'll get 12-year-olds calling you a bad person because Dhar Mann created a video about stopping racism. What do you know? The internet really does put on a label on everything and anything, huh? It's such an ego-driven mentality, and besides that, the majority of his videos are either made for kids who don't understand these situations because it's being brought to them in an unreal situation, or people who confront themselves with the whole, well, at least I'm not that kind of bully, that laughs so hard when a person gets an injury and has to sit in a wheelchair. I honestly want to know why Dhar Mann thought of using a girl in a wheelchair as a target for bullying. Like, who on their right mind has ever bullied someone for not being able to walk? Literally, if you were in a wheelchair in middle or high school, you are like the center of attention for the entirety of your injury. And it also doesn't help that they get nicknames that are so unbelievably original, it's comical. I mean, look at some of these kids. As far as I'm concerned, they can be natural-born comedians with these insults.
Noah the nerd.
See you later, Goodwill Gordon.
Homeless Heather.
Jordan the janitor.
Stuttering Steven, Stuttering Steven, Stuttering Steven.
Wheelchair Wendy.
Maybe if these stories carried some weight and actual discussion about bullying or ableism in the school system, I would take videos like these more seriously, but nah, it's just another rich person looking for a confidence boost. That being said, even though a lot of these videos, if you don't think about the context behind it, they're not only very addicting to watch, but also very funny.
Behind. Oh.
you serious?
I'm so sorry, man.
Like, at this point, it shouldn't really matter to me because of how self-aware they are. Like, they know it's part of the brand and the company, so might as well just do what makes the dough, right? I mean, on February 7, 2022, they said they were going to be changing the format with the videos being longer and by also publishing a video almost every single day and also making it less cringe. So it's no shock that Dhar Mann has become this successful conglomerate that's probably not going to fade anytime soon. And the new videos that I've watched, if I'm being honest, are actually really boring. Some of these videos have 2 parts. 2 parts. Like, I'm sorry, why would I need to watch a video about a nerd throwing a party for 40 minutes compared to a video about a daughter not accepting her adopted sister for 8? I mean, you gotta admit, his strategy is mind-blowing. He's still bad, thus he continues to attract critics that give him more attention and make people aware of his videos who maybe might even end up enjoying them, which gives him something that he suffered with before and now isn't, and that's making a profit. I mean, look at the views in all these videos. Like, how much does he pay for these bots? And also, like, these thumbnails should speak for themselves. I mean, if you guys want to fill up your meme dispenser, then Dhar Mann thumbnails are for you. But I should give you a little bit of a warning and say that you should probably be extra careful about your storage. Dhar Mann being successful makes me question the taste of his audience. I feel like Dhar Mann is seeing himself as the new generation's Mr. Rogers or some wise being that solves problems or something. But whereas Mr. Rogers occasionally used simple skits using puppets to demonstrate a scenario that involves a serious matter that kids have trouble understanding or is important for them to understand, he genuinely valued his audience and took each moral he was trying to teach seriously rather than advertise himself to make his show more popular. Dhar Mann's videos are always set in unrealistic situations, with over-the-top acting and a lot of the time a potentially serious subject matter yet incredibly flawed messages. At this point, his content is so repetitive and effortless that you can't even try to take it seriously. But you know what? Maybe that's the point. Maybe Dhar is just a legend. Maybe he can make us cringe so bad we can actually call it good. I mean, if that's not an accomplishment, I don't know what is. So yeah, man, honestly, this video to me was kind of a nice change of pace. Like, I'm starting to feel inspired again. And you know what? Maybe Dhar Mann isn't so bad after all.
Hey, Dhar Mann fam.
Ah!
I hope you like that massage.
I don't want a massage. I just got one yesterday.
I'm here to tell you something.
I don't want to talk to you.
Okay. I just wanted to say something that will shock you.
Okay. What is it?
Are you sure? You might instantly regret it.
I've watched all your videos. I think I've regretted enough.
You will never be in any of my shocking Dhar Mann fan videos.
Oh no. That's not true. That's impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Yes. Yes.
Together, we can rule the YouTube galaxy as a famous YouTube creator and a less famous YouTube creator.
Wait, didn't you say that I'm not gonna be in any of the videos?
So you see.